Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In Between Us. Hi, my name is Jade Barraza, and I'm the host of this podcast.
Hi, my name is Yedeti Wong, and I am the co-host of this podcast.
And today we are so happy to be finally back in another episode. I'm just so grateful with God that He gives us the opportunity to even be this far with you guys and into the year. And there are just so many things I'm grateful for. Obviously, as you guys can see, my friend is going to be here as a co host now. And so you're obviously going to see us more often. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for all of you guys and all the support that you guys give us. And today we have a very special and touching topic, or at least that's how I see it. I feel like this topic needs to be talked about because it's, as I said, it's kind of one of the hardest things you could ever feel. And it's like somebody leaving out of your life. And I feel like sometimes we don't really understand the reasons why that person even left or why we even pushed them away, and we just blind ourselves from seeing how much they were hurting us, or you never know, maybe they were just a lesson learned for your life. And yeah, it's gonna be kind of what we're gonna be talking today.
So, so you guys can know a little bit more. So the topic is God removing people for a reason. And I feel like it's such a big thing right now for me specifically, because I feel like I have said in previous ones, I moved a lot of schools.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was one of the biggest things that I had on me of like leaving people behind. And it was a painful thing to do. So my question for you is: have you ever had someone later that like have you ever lost someone and later realized God was protecting you?
Have I ever lost someone and realized that God was protecting me?
Yeah.
I actually have. One that I can think of most is, it was a while back. I think I was moving or transitioning into a kid to a teenager, and I wanted that person so much because of how close that person became with my family, and especially with me. And I just wanted to never end my, like, I would say, relationship with that person, like our friendship. And but then later on, well, now that I look forward to, or that I like look past at it, um, I'm like, wow, like really, God really did save me from that person. Um, Obviously, I'm not gonna say who that person is, but I feel like that person was just a really close friend of mine, and a lot of people would tell me like, no, Jay, like focus on other things, like that person is only gonna like hurt you, and like that person like is just very selfish or whatever. And I think I've talked about this situation already in a past podcast actually, and um, yeah, I just never really wanted to let that person go. But then I'm like thankful to God that
He took him.
Yeah, that took that person away. And so yeah, I feel like that would be my person. I don't know. What about you?
So this was pretty much recent. What's about to be? No, actually, it's already a year. That is great. It was already a year. It was last January. Um, and it was. I think it's always been friends for me. Like it's always a big thing, and I think it's because once you start setting boundaries,
Yeah,
on a relationship, or once you start not liking certain things, that relationship changes a lot, and like everybody that doesn't end up liking you anymore because of the decisions you're taking.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like God did protect me a lot with them. Sorry. Anyway, God protected me a lot of that because like now that I'm seeing them, they're like in a super different, like they went back down.
Yeah.
Anyway, like they're in a different situation that I am in, and I feel like it was really. I'm really thankful that he took them away because I wasn't going to do it if they didn't like start like poking on me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have left them, and it's because I'm that type of friend and I can't like let you go in such a short notice.
Yeah.
And it was like horrible. It was a horrible thing, and I feel like now that I think about it, like it was God.
Yeah.
Bringing me into a new school, new situation, new life. Like I feel like after I left, I got a bigger glow on myself. Yeah. I was more happy, and I feel like those two persons were just the reason why I had a lot of problems. And I feel like now I'm just like super happy. Like I feel like I got more closer to God. And I feel like that's something that He does when somebody's blocking you from something.
Mhm.
He will remove them.
Yeah, and I feel like it's even harder when it comes to friends because, like, you just get so used to them and so close to them, and you're like, no, like that's just how they are. But really, that's not how it should be, you know. And I feel like it's just so hard to get away from them because of how close we've actually become to that person. And like I totally understand because it went the same thing with me. Like I was just so close to those persons that they really like it really never I would like every bad thing that they would do. I was like, no, like it's okay, like I can bear with it, you know what I mean? Like I always had an excuse for that person.
And like it's even crazy that like I chose them over one of my greatest friends that I still talk to, and it was because I felt like I belonged there. But little by little, like they were friends before I was friends with them.
Mhm.
Little by little, they will always put me aside, and it will always like be like it's them, and then it will be me.
Yeah.
Or it will be our friendship. And I feel like I'm thankful that, like I said, that like he took them away anyway because
Yeah.
it was just not a good relationship to be around.
Mhm. And I feel that every time like a person leaves out of our lives, it really is a lesson to be learned because then that makes you understand or makes you see what people not to actually go to or what people to actually not um, be with for later on, you know what I mean? So I do think that every time a person leaves, it really is like a lesson learned.
It really is because I feel like it's like for me I feel like everything is a lesson.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's people leave for a reason, or sometimes people come into your life to give you a lesson, and I feel like some of those may be good or some of those may be preparing you to like wake up.
Yeah.
You know, and not accept something that you don't deserve.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that God removed people to prepare us for who we're becoming?
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Can God remove people to prepare us for who we're becoming?
Yes, totally. I believe so. Because as I was saying right now, I believe that every time somebody walks out of your life is a lesson to be learned.
Mhm.
I believe that those times where you're with those people, it makes you understand them and it makes you not want to um, be with people like them anymore. You know what I mean? And so obviously, I believe that when God wants to teach us a lesson or when God wants to show us something, He's gonna put somebody, and then He's gonna take them away, so we can understand the process and we can have that lesson learned. That's what I believe mostly.
And I also agree with you on that. And also, for my personal experience, I feel like he does that a lot to make sure you're prepared anyway. Or maybe he was already doing that.
Yeah.
Well, like in my case, I feel like he was really fighting with me to like get away from those two people. But I was really much of always wanting to have a good relationship with them still, even though after like they were just not like good friends.
Yeah.
Way. And I feel like later on I figured it out, and I don't know. I feel like he just prepares us for something better. Like for me, in my experience, he prepared me to come back to church and like enjoy more things that I missed a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like God obviously talks through people, and when He gives us these kinds of situations, it's to make yourself stronger and better. And so, yeah, like as I said right now, I do believe that God obviously is going to remove somebody out of your way when He sees and He knows that that person is hurting you in any kind of way, whether it's spiritually or whether it's like on the other side, you know what I mean? And like I know that He always wants the best of us, and so yeah, I agree that God can actually remove somebody.
Yeah, I totally agree with you as well, and I feel like it is such an important thing to listen and not be tercas.
Yeah.
Still there, because I did it a lot. Don't do that. of not listening, that when he's doing something, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, you will figure out why, but I feel like it's for
Yeah.
a reason. Everything is for a reason.
Yeah.
Continuing. How do we trust God when the removal hurts more than the actual relationship itself?
I feel like this question a lot of people ask themselves because actually, even inside a church and outside a church, I've heard the, how can I say it, like, como el reclamo of people, like, saying, God, like, why? Like, like, asking God, why did he even do this? You know what I mean? Like, they, they get mad at God when like he removes somebody, and it's like, well, you never know why he actually did it. He obviously knows everything that will happen to us, and if he removed that person, maybe it was um, because he knew that person wasn't gonna do good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it is actually very hard when somebody leaves, because it feels like, as I said, you get so used to that person, even though your relationship wasn't good enough, or like there was just something there that was making you feel bad, but because you were so used to it, it's like you can't let go. You know what I mean? Because you got used to it, and it's like if you let go, it's like you're missing something, even though it was for bad, but you still feel that like emptiness in a way, or at least that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and also I feel like I feel like for me it may hurt. For me, it hurt more because it was like I really thought that they were good people anyway, and I feel like that's when it starts to hurt more, when you actually weren't opening your eyes enough to see what was going on, and also because it's always like leaving somebody that you really loved, even though they were not the greatest person towards you. It's always going to hurt. Like there's no other way that it won't hurt. It's always going to hurt.
Yeah.
Like it's something that will always hurt. And I feel like it's just normal. It's like being a human. Like for that to hurt.
And I feel it also kind of relates to when you start something, or when you're ending. How is it? It was like I can't really remember how it was, but it was like, because I even asked my mom this question. I'm like, yeah, like that's true. Like, but I think it was kind of like it's hard to it's so hard to start something than to end it. You know what I mean? And I just feel that's how I weigh. Like it's just harder when something leaves than when you're actually in the situation. And I feel like that just kind of relates itself. And as I said, it's because I feel like it's because you feel like that emptiness. Because when as I said, that I had these friends, and now that I look at in their lives, I obviously wish them the best, and I ask God to take care of them wherever they are, and to keep talking into their hearts. But when these friends kind of started uh, like fading away in my life, I was like, no, like, why is this happening? Like, they were such a good friends to me. Like, they like this is not how it's supposed to go. Like, if I had done this, if I had done that, like maybe they wouldn't be leaving. Because they also their spiritual life, especially when it came to uh, believing in God, or like going to church or whatever, that also seemed affected on them when they started fading away. I feel like that's how they faded away. They just kind of like left what I was into. And so I was like, no, God, like, why are they leaving? Like, because they're not seeking you anymore. Like, I can see it. Obviously, I don't know their personal lives because, as I said, they left later on, and I just didn't know anything about them anymore. But what I saw, it was I just felt like they were pushing themselves away, and I was like, no, like why? And I just felt like I would just ask myself questions. I would be like why didn't I do this? Like things would have been different. But then again, I'm like, okay, now that I see them, because I still have them, I still have one of them in social media, and when I see her, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe it was because now she has her life. Now she also learned some lessons, and now she's doing this, and now she's, you know what I mean, like whatever her circumstances are currently. And I'm like, maybe that was just part of the path. Maybe God right now is teaching her a lesson, you know, or teaching him a lesson. And but that, yeah, like that's why I feel like it just kind of feels like guilt, or at least that's how I felt.
Yeah,
like,
I
guilt.
totally get it, like feeling guilty over something that you didn't do
Yeah.
anyway. And like you were saying, I feel like you may feel guilty about what's going on, but I feel like you shouldn't anyway.
Yeah,
Because it
obviously.
wasn't your fault in a way. And I always believe that God's timing for these type of things are perfect because He decides whether He thinks this is a good lesson for you or not.
Yeah.
I just genuinely feel like He has always been like that, at least towards me. And like those people that were my friends before, I think they were also como invadiéndome en una manera para like me getting closer to God in a way.
Yeah.
Like they were holding me back a lot, and also because they didn't have really good like situations in their life. Like they were just a mess, as I can say. And I feel like now that like I'm actually going to church and stuff like that, and doing things like that, and actually like being able to have days where I'm home reading Bible, reading my Bible, I feel like those things I wouldn't have done them if I was still friends with them, and I feel like if I was still friends with them, I wouldn't have met you, and I would like stay in that same school and continue being a mess and being unhappy for a lot of things. And I feel like also they were just not good friends. I feel like that was such a great thing that God was doing. He was making them horrible friends, so I can like it came to my head being like, you have to get out of there. But I never did. I feel like I never did because I was too scared, or I was like, I didn't want to be alone. Like it was a lot of things that I think I was doing to be in a relationship and a friendship when actually it was like there was nothing good about it.
Yeah. And I feel like when these kinds of things also happen, you in a way mature out of it. Like you just kind of have this different mindset of them, and you kind of like, okay, like I got this. Like now it's clicking. Like you just kind of grow out of it in a way.
Yeah. And also I feel like after all that happens and you grow out of those people and you like leave out of that, God brings you so much peace.
Yeah.
Into that situation. I feel like for me, He wanted me to have peace, and I ended up having like the best like life later after being their friends. Like I feel like after like not talking to them, even though like it was a painful situation, God showed me that they didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I was like sad, feeling really, really bad. And I would look at them and they were just living their best life. So I feel like that was one of God's ways of showing me that like I was gonna be okay.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like they were gonna be okay, you know what I mean? Because now that you say that, like they're just chilling, they're like living their lives.
Yeah, I feel like in that moment when they were like okay living their life and saying a lot of bad things about me, I feel like now and like the way they're living their life, it's just like I'm glad that I'm not there, and I'm glad that God took me into a different direction.
Yeah.
And like led me to meet new people and just moved me out of a horrible spot that I was
in. Yeah, totally agree. And like I feel like in every situation like this, also God shows you how great He really is, because He's like, you see how like those people just teach you that lesson into not going into people like them. Well, they also just showed you how I really am reliable to you. You know what I mean? Like that we can trust in Him and be like, okay, God, now guide me into the right path and the right people to meet. You know what I mean? And just the right direction where my life is really supposed to go. And yeah, like I just feel like those kinds of lessons also reinforce the greatness in what God can do in our lives.
So moving on, what signs might God give when it's time to let somebody go?
What signs can God give when it's time to let somebody go? Somebody go?
Somebody go.
Somebody. That's actually a very
Do you
good
want me to start?
question. Yeah, yes, because I have
think
no
I
idea.
was like going through that question, so I had to say it first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes,
No,
you
go
get it.
ahead.
I feel like the signs that he gave me a lot in these relationship were that, ¿cómo te lo puedo explicar? Como jealousy. Jealousy. There's like another word, but I forgot to say it. Well, jealousy. I must explain jealousy first. I feel like for them, they were. It's not them saying like, oh, like my life is perfect, this and that. No, but I feel like for them, they had a lot of problems with family, and that is one of the problems that I feel like I haven't had. Anyway, that like my mom is always there, and my family is always there, and for both of them, I feel like their family were just messed up, or there was things that I was like, yeah, that's not right. But I feel like God was showing me the way they were, because sometimes they were like really jealous over how my family was.
Yeah.
And also they were really como groseras conmigo. En una manera u otra, like they were really, really mean, or really like they were not friends anyway. Like they will like do little comments that I was like, yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Or they were just acting like if I was bothering them so much. Anyway, so I feel like God gives you little like how I call them, like roquitas.
Yeah.
Para ver cuál entiendes o cuál, like which one like starts clocking into you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't listen until he threw like the big ass rock, and that's when I understood. And I feel like I understood a lot after that. I feel like after what he threw at me for like, and then like,
Yeah.
que was ellas se habían hecho como like a small little thing. It opened my eyes a lot, and it made me realize that like they were just not good friends, and
Yeah.
I had to get out of there. And I feel like he throws a lot of little signs,
Yeah.
or little rocks, like I say, to
Yeah.
make me like move on, like leave there, run.
Like look what they did. Yeah. Totally. And now that you brought like the jealousy, like I feel like emotions that show towards you, I feel like those are a lot of signs when like people start feeling jealous, when they start getting angry with you easily, when like they are being selfish even,
or when they're like
yeah,
how do you say it? When they're like se me fue la palabra. I forgot the word. I'm sorry, continue.
You're good. Like yeah, I feel like emotions, but also actions. Like when people start harming you physically, or when they start talking bad about you, like I feel it's God showing you like, you see what these people are doing, like get away. You know what I mean? It's like this is not good for you. It's not healthy for you, and like you have to set yourself aside. And you're not like them. You know what I mean? And so I feel those are actually pretty good signs of like what God could do. Obviously, God can show any signs, any kind of signs, even bring you a whole animal and like be like talk. You know what I mean? And tell you like literally on your face. But obviously, God manifests Him in a lot of ways, and I feel like those just mainly are the signs that God really shows into when in other people's emotions or actions, and I'm guessing that's just how He shows you the signs of like wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like he does that a lot to like make sure that you're understanding that like you have to leave that type of friendship. And I feel like it gets to a point that he does it in the most delicate way, and like saying it in the most delicate way, or like showing you in the most delicate way. But when you're not understanding, he full on hits you.
Yeah.
Like being like, you have to understand now, you know? And I feel like when he does that, it's like, it's such a like eye opening to yourself. And you're like, oh my god, like I actually messed up a lot in this, you know?
Yeah, like I was so blinded.
Yeah. Like you don't want to leave somebody behind, but actually that person was behind a long time ago. Just that you were muy aferrada en quedarte ahí.
Yeah. Yeah. And like also adding on to this, just how hard it is to get away. Like if it's hard enough to get away from bad people that you know were doing bad to you, imagine how hard it is to get away with the people who were actually good to you.
Mhm.
I feel that's actually like a very strong question to ask yourself. Like, how bad is it really to even get away of the people that I truly love?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like the people that were actually good to myself. And so I just asked myself that question because, I mean, thank God I've never experienced that feeling. But like,
Or also, I feel like God removes good people that you love and then brings them back after He actually removes the right people. Because I feel like that happened to me. Like, I was always putting these two friends before one of my biggest friends that I love with all of my heart. And after I stopped talking to them, she came back.
yeah,
And me and her talked and talked. And I remember that she even said sorry to me. And I said sorry to her because I was like, I messed up.
yeah,
She was like, I also messed up. I should have stayed and like actually tried my best. And I was like, she tried her best. Like she full on tried her best.
yeah,
I was just too stubborn. But I will for always like appreciate her in like the best ways. Like she was even also trying to get me close to God, but I didn't understand. I think like that's why God took her away, and like that's when everything fell.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was his reason, like making me lose somebody that I loved,
Yeah.
because I wasn't letting go of other two that were just, how do I say it, like,
They were just getting on your way.
yeah, or like they were just like, no es que no servían, pero que no eran como, there's a word for it. So like que
They were of no help in
Uh-huh.
your life, basically.
Yeah. Que me estaban enseñando cosas que I didn't have to know, and I feel like they were just like in my life for bad and not for good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, as I said, like I can just imagine how hard it really is. And not that I'm like going through it, but I just feel like that's another like thing that I question myself is like what am I doing for that reason? Like what am I doing for that person that was doing good to me? Leave. And I think that's just like so hard. But I feel like those kinds of questions also require a lot of like communication with God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, God, now this person left, and so now what do you want from me?
I feel like this kind of like takes us to our next question, which is it possible God removes people to draw us closer to Him?
Yeah, and actually, it
Yeah.
does actually have to do with this that I just said because um, that's really what God wants. After all, He just wants us to have a deeper connection with Him, to be able to fulfill the purpose that He set in our lives, and to know that He really is the one of the best friends we could have.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that when He removes people out of our lives, it's to teach us that we're not being close with Him, that we have set Him aside of like our lives and our path, and that we just gave so much focus to this person, and like we just kind of left God aside and never touched or communicated with Him anymore. And I feel like that's why he removes the good people in our lives because they were so good to us. Like maybe he was like, you know what, you're setting too much importance to this person, and you left me. You stopped talking with me. You stopped seeking my presence. You know what I mean, in a way. And so yeah, obviously, like I feel
Yeah,
that
and also this did not happen a lot to me because I feel like before this happened with me with these friends, I was not closer to God, but I feel like there was people trying to get me closer to God. But I had one of my friends, and she said it herself that God took this like her best friend away so she could be closer to Him because she was losing a lot of things like that she had with God.
yeah.
I feel like she was losing a lot of herself because of this person. So like she even said herself like God was removing her for a reason.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I don't think it has happened to me yet because I was not super close to God during those times, but I feel like either ways He was still there with me.
Yeah. And I feel like in your situation, in a way, He kind of did remove those friends of yours to get closer to him
mm-hmm.
because he saw that they were just hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in a way it kind of did. Obviously not fully in like, oh, like you were here and then you left and then now you're back, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of did draw you into it and now to become the person that you are and to believe what you believe now. And so I feel like this also, not only with friendships, but I feel like it also a lot of the times happen with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like sometimes we want to be with that one person because we feel that we love them,
mm-hmm.
but then we kind of just set God aside and let's say that we didn't, or the couple or whatever the relationship that you're having, like you didn't put God in between and you just left him aside and like you just ignored him and now he's like, okay, well I'm gonna remove this person because you stopped looking for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel that's another reason why a lot of relationships also just kind of end, kind of going towards the last episode,
mm-hmm.
because um, yeah, because maybe God just sees how they're pulling us or they're pulling um, anyone away from him, from his presence, from looking of him. And so totally it's also a very lesson learned,
mm-hmm.
because it just makes you understand how important it is to have God inside your heart
mm-hmm.
and in your life. And so sometimes it is good, even though you obviously you're gonna feel weak and sad, and
mm-hmm.
you're gonna feel guilty or whatever of the situation that happened, but it's gonna make you stronger when it comes to God. And so obviously faith comes in a lot in this, and just knowing that God did it for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said right now, like sometimes when people leave and then we just ask ourselves like, okay, God, like what do you want from me? Like, okay, well, I want you to come closer to me. I want you to trust me, to rely on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so obviously God wants the best of us. And so I feel like that would be the reason why God would remove somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can see it anything, friendships, relationships, even our family.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe we just stop being with God because we want to focus in our family, but we never realized that God was the one who gave us that family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I feel like it would, God actually does remove people in order to get you closer to Him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like he does that a lot as well to make sure that, like you said, that you don't like stop believing in him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And also because I feel like I said like with one of my friends that happened to her, I felt like I saw it in a way of her not stop believing in him, but having doubts about him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now that like all of that happened and like she like left that friendship, like I feel like even in herself, I feel like she was a little bit better in that type of situation. Like she felt better, even though it hurt her a lot. And like I know how like that feels because like even losing somebody, like I said that like I lost a really good friendship for a while.
Yeah.
Just with putting two other people before that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was God's way of making my eyes open and like telling me to listen more to him
Mm-hmm.
and to pay closer to him, which was like the best thing I have ever done.
Yeah.
Like it's been so good, even like we said in the mental and in the first video about mental health that I feel like he has a lot to do in that with me. Like he has helped me so much in so many ways, and I'm totally grateful for God in my life.
Yeah, of course. I'm also very grateful for like just all the protection and the guides that he provides into my life. And I feel like he's also helped me see the type of people to not get involved in, and to also when I feel that something is off or that I just don't feel comfortable in a way, to know that he's always there for me, that he is never gonna leave, that he's always gonna be by my side, and that whatever I might need, that I can always ask him and talk to him about it. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's totally.
So we have one last question. And it says, looking back, who are you thankful that God removed? And did it even hurt at first?
Who am I thankful that God removed?
Mhm.
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, these two friends, I just feel like they were not no good for me at all.
Mhm.
Even though they were very kind people, now that I look at in their lives, I'm like, if I would have stayed with these friends, like, would my life be just like theirs, or would I still have become the person that I am now? Because I said, as I said, um, this friendship happened when I was transitioning into a kid to a teenager. Like I was in those years of thinking I was really grown,
Mhm.
and I feel like it was hard because I grew up with those friends. You know, I grew up with them, and I spent so many. I spent so many times with them, and I had so many memories with them that they, in a way, also shaped the person I am now. And it hurt a lot. I won't say there were even times when like I had so much emotion about it because I was like, it's just so unfair the outcome that just happened.
Mhm.
And there were times where I asked myself and I asked God, I'm like, God, why? Like, why did this happen? But as I said, I look into their lives now and I'm like just so grateful that I, in a way, didn't end up like them.
Mhm.
Because I feel like these people are too young and they've wasted a lot of their life in a way, and they really never took advantage of their youth and of the opportunities they had.
Mhm.
And now that I see them, I'm just like, God, thank you because you've brought me all the way here.
Mhm.
And as I said, like it really hurt because I grew up with them and I just had so many special memories with them that when all of this um, of me and them just not being like that, we just didn't match together.
Mhm.
Um, like I was just like, why? Like, why are we not being how we used to? And those memories or those special moments just kind of started fading away like ashes in a way. You know, when
Mhm.
you burn something and then you can just see the ashes flying away. Like that's just how it felt. It felt like I was burning a photograph, and I was just like, I would just make questions to myself and to God, and I'd be like, God, like, why did you make this person fade away of my life? But in a way, like as I said, they obviously were lessons in my life, and they did shape the person I am now. And obviously, when I noticed that something is off, like to not um, like in a way to not stay satisfied with it, but rather leave out of that place or um, like communicate and try to clear things out. You know what I mean? And so obviously, I don't like wish anything bad to those people or that I see like, oh, they have a horrible life. Like they don't. Like
Yeah.
I mean, everybody lives the way they want,
Mhm.
but I do feel like they're just too young for the life they're living now.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, I'm just thankful that God didn't put me in that place and that I didn't have to struggle as much as they might have struggled in the past, you know what I mean? And that He didn't set me away of them, but rather it was their decision on living away, you know what I mean? And just seeing how God protected me from them and kept me with Him was just such like a relief in this situation. And I'm just so thankful that God really teached me how important it is to actually let go of those people who um, get in the way of your um, relationship and path with God.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's really much like those people were kind of the ones who it hurt a lot, but as I said, I just kind of learned how to out like grow out of it and mature about it You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. Also, for me, I feel like I am thankful that he took these two people out of my life because I feel like I would have been in a worse spot right now, and I feel like I wouldn't have left that school anyway. I would have me hubiera quedado aferrada allí, I
Mhm.
guess. But I'm grateful for it. I really am because I feel like I met new people. I got way closer to him, so I was really happy about that. And even though it hurt really, really bad because it was a painful situation, it was months and months and months of like still feeling that como soledad.
Yeah.
Pero ahora like I feel like it just feels free. I just feel free about it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like les deseo lo mejor and like I hope that they're living up the best life they can. I do believe that they are like how do I say it? Like I feel like they are living like you said, like too fast their life and like too like they're acting like if they're too grown when I believe they're not. And well, yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the way he took them out of my life, even though it hurt really bad. Like it was the worst pain I could ever experience. Cause I actually really loved them anyway, and like felt like I was gonna stay with them for a long time. But I don't know.
Yeah, like everything happens for a reason. And just the way how he removes people out of our life, he also provides new people into our life, even for the same reasons to get closer to him or to also have a lesson learned in our lives and to understand the actual people that we need. And it is actually very important that you give yourself that space when you feel like somebody that you let go. Like, give that space in that moment because you never know what really is coming for you. Like, you never know when you might actually meet someone new who is gonna help you become a better version of yourself, and that's gonna help you in your way of like getting closer to God or just living a healthy life itself. And so, obviously, um, if you are experiencing a harsh moment of um, like struggling and letting go of those people that just kind of, in a way, you're not matching with, like, give it the space. Give it the space, give it the moment. Try to understand why those people are being like that and why those people are slowly fading away of your life. And I say don't as well, like, don't overthink about it. Don't um, be so stubborn about it, and just kind of try to understand the situation and try to look forward in making yourself feel better. And as I said, you really never know the outcome of it, and like, you might have this big blessing behind all of this. And it's like how they say it, like, after a storm there is a rainbow afterwards. And so you really never know what God is going to provide for you after you let go of those people, because if you stay with it and you hold on to it, you're going to end up hurting yourself even more. And so it is highly important that you keep um, having a relationship, seeking God. It is important that we seek God for it and that we talk to Him about it. That if we are feeling overwhelmed, that if we're feeling like we're being hurt in a way, like, talk to Him, be like, God, like, please just make your, like, that it's your willing, that make whatever you need to do work in my life so that I don't feel this way anymore. You know what I mean? And just like I said, don't really pay or give it too much of importance, because God might give you someone who is better, and that might just help you become a better person of yourself. And so, yeah, I don't know if would you like to say anything else? Would you like to advise anything else?
I would also like to say, don't think you deserve what's going on with like the people who are not nice to you and like not. Don't think you deserve like bad things in your life. Like you totally deserve the best.
Yes.
And don't let people treat you like you don't deserve it. Treat you like if you're bothering them, don't let people treat you like that. It's just my advice. And if you start seeing little things that you don't like, either talk about it or just leave. Like, I promise you, it won't be horrible later on. Like, God brings great things after a bad moment in your life. He just gives you everything you ever wanted.
Yeah. And just accept yourself and love yourself and try to look forward to peace. Um, and so if you guys ever need anything, we are most reliable. We can provide the best advice that we can. And if you guys have like any questions or any doubts, of course, you guys are free to express yourselves and tell us any questions that you guys might have. Also, we will try to be more active, and we'll try to um, read all of you guys' messages or comments if you guys have any. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this theme was of help for you guys. We hope that in a way it provides an impact to you guys, and we are open to any ideas or any topics that you guys might want to hear from us. We'll try our best to look forward into it, and we're also trying to get more people involved in our podcast. And so be ready and prepare for anything that is coming up in our podcast. Obviously, we'll just try to do more activities, and we'll just try to be more attentive to it. And so, yeah, we're just so thankful for you guys and for the opportunity that God gives us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching our episode, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye.